Short story analysis of the selfish giant. Setting. The story is set in a beautiful garden belonging to a selfish giant who has vanished children from playing in it. Characters. The main characters include the selfish giant, the children, and the small boy who ultimately brings about the giant's change of heart. Exposition. The beginning of the selfish giant introduces us to a selfish giant and his lovely garden. It establishes the giant's selfish nature and how he has forbidden children from playing in his garden, resulting in a perpetual winter. Conflict. A conflict arises when a small boy enters the giant's garden and, being playing, challenges the giant's authority and in disrupting his solitary existence. The giant initially reacts with anger and resentment towards the boy's instruction, raising action. As the story unfolds, we witness the gradual change in the giant's heart. Despite his initial hostility toward the boy, the giant is moved to the boy's ignorance and louder. He starts to feel remorse and a longing for the joy and has denied himself by isolating the garden. Resolution. The story's resolution occurs when the small boy, rebel to the Christ child, returns the garden. Overcome with remorse, the giant seeks forgiveness. The Christ child blesses the giant, filling his heart with love and compassion. The giant tears down the garden walls, allowing children to play freely again. Figure of the speech and the selfish giant. Simile. The garden was bare and desolate, and the north wind whispered through it. Metaphor. The giant's heart was like a piece of leaf, and his eyes were like two bright stars. Personification. The son is personified as a fellow who enters the garden and greets the giant. Hyperbole. The winter is described as lasting for years and years. Imaginary. Vivid imagery is used to describe the garden's transformation from a barren wasteland to a lush paradise filled with blossoming flowers and singing birds. The summarize of the selfish giant. In the story, the selfish giant, a giant selfishly bans children from playing in his beautiful garden, causing eternal winter to ensue. One day, a small boy sneaks into the garden and begins to play. The giant initially engages so obstinate by the boy's ignorance and invites him to return. However, the boy disappears and the giant is left longing for his return. Eventually, the giant's heart is melted by the joy and the laughter of the child, who return to play in the garden. Realizing the error of his ways, the giant tears down the walls and allows the children to play freely, and the garden flourished once again with laughing love.